back in 3400 BC. Now their system was base 60, which we still use for telling time. For everything else, we ditched that in favor of the base 10 system, courtesy of the Egyptians a couple of hundred years after that. Rounded out by the notation for 0, courtesy of the Mayans a couple of hundred years after that, giving us the numbers 0 through 9, upon which is built our entire modern mathematical architecture. Now before this, it's not like we didn't understand numbers any more than we didn't understand time before clocks were invented. It is perfectly simple, after all, to understand that if my songs have a lot of lyrics, okay? Fucking, I'm not naturally good at this. I have to work really hard at it. It's perfectly simple, after all, to understand that if you have one chicken and your neighbor has 2 chickens, that your neighbor has more chickens than you do. It's also easy to understand and to explain to somebody that 1 + 2 = 3, because you can see your chicken, you can see your neighbor's 2 chickens, and then whoop, as if by magic now you have 3 bloodstained chickens and 1 dead neighbor. This is simple, observable mathematics. We don't need language to make sense of this. Beyond this, though, things get abstract and theoretical really fucking fast. And I'm not even talking astrophysics here. Just getting into numbers larger than 60 or 100 poses serious problems in a world where you don't have 60 or 100 of anything. And inevitably, somewhere adrift in the abyss of history is the first human being who's faced the challenge of trying to explain the concept of 1 million to some poor human being who's understandably less interested in a number with no practical application than they were in society's state-of-the-art advances that have already been eaten by fucking lions. But in this one person's brain was an idea of a number bigger than anyone had counted, of a number that they knew was real, that they knew was out there, but that they couldn't hold up and show anyone, that they couldn't even clearly explain because the language had not been developed yet. And if, as has been theorized, humanity's intelligence is intimately tied to our capacity for language, then an abstract concept with no word attached to it might as well not even fucking exist. End of part 1. When I was born, I was given a teddy bear that I called Teddy because sometimes you just phone it in. And I took Teddy with me everywhere. And one day when I was about 4 years old, me and my mum were getting ready to go out, and she said, "Where's Teddy?" And I said, "Teddy's upstairs." And she said, "Go and get him then, we're leaving." And I remember feeling jarred by this. It was an unfamiliar, visceral feeling. Powerful enough for me still to be processing it way, way in the background. Some 34 years later, I said, "Teddy's not a him." And she said, "Oh, okay, her then." No, still not right. Teddy's not a her either, I said, struggling to find the word for what I knew Teddy was. A word that I knew must exist because on a conceptual level I can imagine it. And because my experience thus far having to point at something and to ask what it is and to be told, "Oh, that's a table, that's a chair, that's a deactivated exploder for a Mark 10 torpedo." I just assumed in my 4 long years on this planet I'd yet to come across the word for when something doesn't neatly fit into the girl box or the boy box, but what the fuck did I know? Now Teddy Teddy is present tense. Teddy is... Yeah, we got some Teddy fans in the room. Teddy has no past or future. Teddy is like a pure... Teddy has left the fucking wheel of samsara or whatever. When you leave for college and you were given a bear, when you were born, when you were given a bar, when you leave for college and you were given a bear when you were born, you take that bear with you to college. You take that bear with you to your first apartment. You take that bear with you when...
It's his first apartment too!
You have so many opinions over in that corner. When you go on tour in the United States of America, you have to take that bear with you. Because... This is a lot of effort for a really small bit because I cannot do the rest of the song while holding on to Teddy, but this is not a prop. This is my real teddy bear I was given when I was born. You can tell because this bear is a fucking mess. This bear has, and if you get a chance to look closely, this bear has a cataract, which I think is just a glass eye that has been dragged along the ground too many times. This bear has no nose, and this bear has a hole in his throat that has been sewn up because apparently I was practicing tracheotomies as a kid. But it would be disrespectful to just put Teddy back there behind the drum monitor. Is there anybody over here who's feeling... I saw immediately a hand shoot up into the air. Okay. Now it does say no crowd serving. Which means I'm going to throw this bear at you, and then this bear has to stay in your hands. This is serious business. Teddy's just clumps of fluff stuffed into a furry bag. There is no objective truth as to whether Teddy's a girl or a boy or something else, but that's not the point. The point is, this is what has stuck with me. This is my earliest memory since I was 4 years old, before I had any exposure to anyone beyond the gender binary and real life or in books or on TV, before I had any concept of what it might mean, socially or politically. Gendering Teddy felt like it went against something tangible that apparently only I could see. End of part 2. And this, Atlanta, is why I have dwindling patience for people who smirk and say, we don't need new words to describe gender. The reason that so many of these people belittle and undermine the words that trans and non-binary people use to describe themselves and the world around them is not because they think that these words are meaningless, as they claim. It's because they know these words are powerful. Not to mention the frankly fucking ludicrous idea that new words somehow erase your identity, rather than deepen your sense of understanding of it. Or the idea that it is somehow unnatural to be coming up with new words like this, as if that hasn't been one of the leading preoccupations of humanity for the past 6,000 fucking years at least. We are trying to do something right now that cannot be accomplished without new language. Without it, it becomes impossible to know when your rights are being violated, or to build support networks and communities, or to tell the people you love who you actually are, or even to recognize yourself in the fucking mirror. And that lonely early human who tried to explain the concept of 1 million, maybe if they could, they would say, you know what? You are right. We don't need new language to understand that 1 + 2 = 3, but we will need it to build a worldwide communication network, to point our telescopes into the darkest parts of space, to plunge with no regard for our safety into the deepest parts of the sea. Maybe you think it is irresponsible to be coming up with new words like this and in the process validating things you don't believe in, things you can't see. But me, I struggle to see it as anything except progress. New words are just new tools that can be used to build a marginally better fucking world right now. And maybe many thousands of years in the future, these new tools that we drop and break and wield clumsily will be used in ways that we cannot even conceive of today, to build miraculous, unimaginable structures without distant descendants standing atop them, being the people we always wanted to be.